Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel for today's video where you're going to be talking about mistakes to avoid when showing interest in joining an organization. So if you're interested, keep watching this video. Full disclaimer, if you hear dogs, I do have my dogs. We are so casual at this point. So just ignore them if you hear them. But one thing that, and Jax of course is never too far from my side. So if you see me like doing this, Jackson's down here. One of the mistakes that I recommend avoiding, we're going to go through a couple, but one of them is to not accidentally claim an organization. I actually am guilty of this myself. When I was in high school, not knowing anything about sorority life, I casually mentioned one day that I was interested in joining Delta Sigma Theta to one of the girls that I knew in high school that was now in college, and her only response was, "You shouldn't say that out loud," kind of thing. So never claim an organization out loud, especially if you haven't done your research. This is, now mind you, I'm like a junior in high school, not even knowing anything about Greek life, just like, oh, I'm going to become a Delta, because when I was in high school, a lot of my teachers were in fact Deltas. I don't think I had a single Sigma Gamma Rho. I did not have a single Sigma Gamma Rho teacher. All of my teachers, if not majority of them, and administrators were Delta Sigma Theta or Alpha Kappa Alpha. But for some reason, it came out of my mouth that I wanted to be a Delta. Funny how that works out. Another recommendation that I recommend not doing is asking the wrong questions. And by asking the wrong questions, I mean not thinking before you speak kind of thing. So, and that also aligns with my next mistake, or mistake to avoid, which would be saying the wrong words. You guys have seen my videos on the terminology and words that you should and shouldn't say. Like, for example, I am very huge on not using the word pledge because it is indicative of hazing and the hazing process. So avoiding certain words that you know are no longer in the vocabulary of Greek life, I feel is very important, along with asking the wrong questions. So questions like, if I went to pledge this organization, or how do I can't really think of a question right now, but things of that nature. I can't really think of a question. If I can think of questions that you shouldn't ask, give me a thumbs up if you want to see that video, and I'll make it for you. If I get over 100 likes on this video, I will make that video for you guys. But saying the wrong words, asking the wrong questions, not thinking before you speak, I'm guilty of all of these things, particularly when I was in high school, because I didn't know a thing about Greek life. So I'm not picking on any one person. These are strictly from my experiences, except for this one. A mistake to avoid is using your pull. And by pull, I mean if you know someone that's in an organization already and you're like, I already know that, like being overconfident about it, like I already know that I'm going to join because my best friend is in the chapter, or my mom is in the organization and she's like very popular kind of thing. So bragging would not be the way to go. I feel like when you brag, it kind of makes things harder for you because it feels like you're not going to put an effort in because you know people that are already in the organization. So try to avoid using those resources to kind of make yourself appear more appealing to chapter members. It usually backfires, so kind of be mindful of that. Tarnishing your reputation is another one. I do have a video out there on reputations. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out. But making sure that you have a pretty positive reputation, that's with the fraternities, with the sororities, just on campus in general. If you go to a smaller university where the Greek life is a little more close-knit, making sure that you have a good reputation is very important, because people will talk. People have been talking. And if your social media is not in the best light, you might want to look into that too. Also, if you'd like to see a video on how to clean up your social media, give me a like as well, and I'll make that video for you guys too. But do not tarnish your reputation. Try to, upon getting to college, try to make sure that you do not say or do anything that's going to get you into trouble with Greek life, because it will follow you at the end of the day and it will make things harder for you. So try not to do that if you can. And then another mistake is not knowing the right time. This is my final recommendation of a mistake to avoid, is because sometimes we want things when we want it, and sometimes it's just not a good time. If you know that your GPA is not going to meet the minimum, don't try to apply to join an organization, because GPA is one of the things that will prevent you from not joining. And I get that question a lot when people ask, if the minimum GPA is a 3.0 and I have a 2.9, what are my chances? The chances that you're not going to get in, because GPA is one of the main requirements, the main minimum requirements that you need in order to be considered eligible. So if you're not meeting the minimum requirement, there's honestly no point in trying, because you're not going to get in. GPA is very important. So knowing when it's the right time is very important. And also, don't waste your time and money, because those application fees and those induction fees, those things are very expensive and non-refundable. So if you know that you're not meeting the minimum standard, which if you've watched my videos, you'll also know that I recommend going above and beyond, not meeting the minimum requirement is going to hurt you more than help you. So make sure you know the right time, when it's right for you. And if it's your senior year and you're not doing good, you can always consider graduate membership. But don't put yourself in a situation where you want to join an organization and it's just, you know that it's not the right time. So bear those things in mind. I hope that you guys find this information helpful. Give me a thumbs up. Especially give me a thumbs up if you want to see that content that I mentioned earlier, and I will produce that for you guys. At least 100 likes will get me to work on that for you guys. But if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. There's so many of you that watch my content and have not yet subscribed. If you want to get my information early, also consider purchasing a membership on YouTube. That information is also in the description box below. But I hope that you guys found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.